I just saw something I think is very comical. A bipartisan group of senators is pushing Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on reports of Turkish violations of a ceasefire in northern Syria, urging the administration to respond with tough economic sanctions. On several occasions, President Trump has threatened to destroy Turkey's economy should Turkey violate its obligations, the senators wrote in a letter to Pompeo on Wednesday. In keeping with this position, we ask that the administration take swift measures to enforce the October 17 agreement with tough economic sanctions. In the meantime, we will continue to work in Congress on the passage of a bipartisan sanctions bill to protect our allies and uphold the credibility of the United States. The letter was organized by Senators Chris Van Hollen, Democrat of Maryland, and Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina, and was co-signed by Senators Richard Blumenthal, Democrat of Connecticut, Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, and Janine Shaheen, Democrat of New Hampshire. The same group sponsored one of the Turkey sanctions bills that have been introduced in the Senate in response to Turkey offensive against Syrian Kurdish forces. Now, why is this so comedic? Why do I have this persistent smile on my face that can't seem to go away? Well, if you have any slight remembrance of recent history with the United States, you'll know that we are very hard pressed to have credibility on any issue because we oftentimes change our position. We'll be the first ones to say that we don't want a war, but then leave a peace treaty, as Trump did with the Iran nuclear deal. We'll be the first ones to tell you that someone staying in a war forever is a bad idea, but be unable to tell you when we want to get out of a war, like Pete Buttigieg during the Democratic debate about Syria. And I keep looking at this line. In the meantime, we will continue to work in Congress on the passage of a bipartisan sanctions bill to protect our allies and uphold the credibility of the United States. It's like Earth to Senate dingbats. We have no credibility on anything. We're literally the nation of hypocrites. And you know the funniest thing is that you'll get people who don't like Trump and they'll say, "Oh, see, we know that he's handling Syria bad because even the Republicans are trying to contact him to make sure that he doesn't do anything wrong over there." But they're the same people who had the war going on before he got in there. It's like, thanks for helping him destroy Turkey's economy with your tough economic sanctions, as you even admit they're called. I really appreciate that. You know, you can just say that. You don't have to claim, oh, we want to uphold the credibility of the U.S. The U.S. has no credibility. When a U.S. politician says something to an international person, any individual from any country, they should laugh in their face or take it with the biggest grain of salt a person could possibly hold in one hand. Uh, it's like the same country that signed a peace treaty of that nuclear deal and then got out 3 years later, the second the opposing party that took office took over the White House. The same ones that signed the Paris Agreement, or rather entered one and then withdrew a few years later when the opposing party took power. This is the country that is supposed to have credibility on the world stage. Man, that's a funnier joke than anything you could see on Comedy Central.